How far can evolution bend the idea of an animal before the body stops making sense to us? If you want to see where that question leads, subscribe and hit like. It begins with a creature that refuses to grow up. An axolotl looks like a salamander designed by someone who had only heard one described over the phone. Tiny legs, lidless eyes, and feathery gills branching from its neck. Those gills are normally a larval feature, but the axolotl keeps them into adulthood. Biologists call this neoteny. It becomes an adult while keeping much of its baby body. Then comes the part that feels like cheating. If it loses a leg, it can grow a new one, complete with bone, muscle, nerves, and blood vessels. It can also repair its tail and parts of its spinal cord, usually without the heavy scarring humans produce. But at least it keeps the same general shape. The next can turn itself into a completely different thing. A pufferfish is stiff, slow, and shaped like a badly controlled submarine. That sounds like a serious design flaw until something tries to eat it. The fish pumps water into an expandable stomach and becomes a ball too large to swallow. In many species, sharp spines rise with it, so the predator has put a living mine into its mouth. Many pufferfish also carry tetrodotoxin, a poison powerful enough to paralyze muscles. Their 4 fused front teeth form a growing beak built for crushing shells and coral. Still, the pufferfish needs water inside its body. The next animal moves water across the outside of its body and straight toward its mouth. The thorny devil has the armor of a miniature dragon, but it mostly wants to eat ants. Its spikes make it difficult to swallow. Its colors hide it in the Australian desert, and the lump behind its neck acts as a false head. If a predator bites the wrong end, the real head may survive. But its strangest feature is hidden between the scales. Microscopic channels spread across its skin. When the lizard touches damp sand or dew, capillary action pulls water toward the corners of its mouth. Its entire body helps deliver the drink. It is less a dragon than a walking system of gutters. And the next creature replaces those gutters with 8 cameras, hydraulic legs, and an emergency rope. Mystacus belongs to the jumping spiders. Animals small enough to sit on your fingernail but equipped like precision hunters. Their large forward-facing eyes provide detailed vision while the others watch for movement. Some make targeted leaps dozens of times their body length, using internal pressure to extend their legs like a hydraulic system. Before jumping, the spider attaches a silk safety line. If the landing goes wrong, it climbs back up. Other members of the family perform courtship dances, plan detours to attack prey, and imitate signals on another spider's web to lure its owner closer. That is a lot of calculation inside a head smaller than a lentil. But a flatworm can lose its head and make another one. Flatworm covers thousands of species, and nature used the group to test several ideas that should never have left the meeting. Many have no lungs, heart, or blood vessels. Their bodies stay thin enough for oxygen to diffuse through their tissues. Some marine species are hermaphrodites and settle mating roles through what biologists calmly call penis fencing. Then there are planarians. Cut some species into pieces, and the fragments can rebuild a missing head, tail, gut, and nervous system, powered by versatile stem cells called neoblasts. The question is no longer, how did the worm survive? It is, which piece is now the worm? That problem is hard enough. The yeti crab adds agriculture. The first known yeti crab was discovered near deep-sea vents in 2005. It had reduced eyes and pale limbs covered in hair-like bristles, as if a crab had stolen the arms of a teddy bear. Then, researchers found a relative called Kiwa puravita doing something even stranger. It waves bristled claws through water rich in methane and hydrogen sulfide. Bacteria feed on those chemicals and grow on the bristles. The crab scrapes them off with comb-like mouthparts. It farms food on its own arms in a habitat powered by chemistry rather than sunlight. That is weird behavior. Quetzalcoatlus is weird engineering on the scale of an aircraft. Quetzalcoatlus was not a dinosaur. It was a pterosaur and one of the largest animals ever to fly. The biggest species may have had a wingspan around 10 or 11 meters. On the ground, its head could rise to roughly giraffe height, yet its bones had to remain light enough for flight. Picture a giraffe stripped down to scaffolding, given a spear for a face, covered in wing membrane and launched into the sky. Scientists debate exactly how the largest individuals launched and flew. But the fossils establish the disturbing part. An animal close to giraffe height once folded its wings and walked on all fours. And yet it still had bones, skin, and a recognizable head. Venus's girdle looks more like a piece of light that learned to swim. Venus's girdle is a comb jelly shaped like a transparent ribbon. It can reach around a meter long, undulating like a living belt. Rows of beating cilia propel it and split light into racing rainbow bands. Many comb jellies can also make a separate blue-green glow in darkness. It has no skeleton and nothing resembling a vertebrate brain, yet it coordinates swimming, feeding, and escape. The result is beautiful until you remember you are looking at an active predator, not a screensaver. Beauty disappears with the goblin shark. It appears to have been assembled from spare shark parts and one medieval weapon. The goblin shark cruises through deep water with a flattened snout containing organs that detect weak electrical signals from prey. Once the target is close, the face opens. Elastic tissues fire its jaws forward from beneath the head. The mouth shoots toward the victim, clamps down, and retracts. One of the most extreme jaw protrusions known in sharks. Most predators chase food with their bodies. This shark sends its mouth ahead without them. But the mantis shrimp can hit prey so fast that the water itself delivers a second blow. Gonadactylus is a stomatopod, commonly called a mantis shrimp, although it is neither a mantis nor a true shrimp. Some stomatopods carry spears. Others carry clubs driven by a spring-loaded mechanism. The strike creates a low-pressure bubble in the water. That bubble collapses almost immediately, so the victim is hit once by the club and again by the shock from cavitation. Each eye moves independently. Different species detect ultraviolet and polarized light, and some have far more photoreceptor classes than humans. But experiments suggest their color system may trade fine comparison for speed. It has 2 independent surveillance towers and a pair of underwater hammers. Then the body almost disappears from the equation. The water bear can shut down almost completely and wake after conditions that kill nearly every other animal. Tardigrades are microscopic animals with 8 stubby legs and a face like a vacuum cleaner nozzle. When their habitat dries, some curl into a dormant ton, lose most of their water, and reduce their metabolism to almost undetectable levels. In 2007, dehydrated tardigrades spent 10 days exposed to the vacuum of low Earth orbit. Many shielded from full solar ultraviolet revived after rehydration. Full exposure killed most because water bears are tough, not magical. That distinction makes them stranger, not less strange. They do not overpower space. They temporarily become so inactive that the environment has very little to attack. But survival is still something a body does. The final creature changes the question by making it difficult to say where the body ends and control begins. An octopus has no bones, 3 hearts and blue blood. It can squeeze through any opening larger than its beak, change its skin's color and texture, and taste surfaces with its suckers. But those are only the visible tricks. Much of its nervous system is distributed through its arms. Local circuits handle sensing and movement without waiting for the central brain to supervise every sucker. The brain issues a broad command while the arms solve parts of the physical problem. That does not mean 8 separate minds are holding a committee meeting under a rock. It means the boundary between brain and body is arranged very differently from ours. This intelligence also evolved along a separate path. Our common ancestor lived more than 500 million years ago and was nothing like either of us. Complex behavior appeared again inside a soft-bodied mollusk. This is where the opening question finally lands. The axolotl rebuilds its body. The water bear pauses it. The mantis shrimp weaponizes it. But the octopus turns the body itself into a different kind of thinking machine. Which creature changed your idea of what an animal can be? Put your choice in the comments, subscribe to Velas, and tell me which strange corner of the animal kingdom we should investigate next.